the draft this weekend. Then they added 8 more picks on both sides of the ball. Owner and GM Jerry Jones spoke highly of Dallas's draft. Jerry said, "This is the best I've ever seen us work in the draft room." He added he believes his team improved, quote, "as much as we improved our team last year in the draft." Now, that is interesting because some national experts do not agree, Shannon. Both Mel Kiper and USA Today graded Dallas as the second to worst ranked draft of the weekend. So what grade would you give the Cowboys draft today?
A D.
Oh, thank you.
A D.
I started to, but I said my alphabet weren't very good, Skip. That was a terrible draft. Hold on. I thought they said Mike McCarthy was going to be heavily involved. Is he responsible for this bull jive, Skip? Oh, Mike McCarthy, he's going to be as involved as he's ever been in the draft process, and I'm looking forward to it. I sure hope you're not responsible for this bull jive, Mike McCarthy. Yeah. Skip, this was awful. If you're going to take an offensive lineman, take the offensive lineman out of Iowa, Tyler Linderbaum. Skip, they have not been able to run the football since Travis Frederick retired. They were strong up the middle. You look at teams that can run the football, they're strong up the middle. Cowboys haven't been able to run the football since. Jerry says he wants guys that are available. Most of these guys, Jerry, are a year or two away. They're not going to be available for you this year. You got guys that are projects. And he told me, he want guys that are available. Skip, he took a guy that had spinal fusion surgery.
He did.
He's not going to be available anytime soon, I don't think.
Clark, 5th rounder out of LSU. I have seen him make plays before, but there's no way he's available next year. And you don't even know. It's a long shot on the next year.
Exactly. And then, Tolbert, Mel Kiper says a redundant Michael Gallup. Now, maybe, Skip, if he's a redundant Michael Gallup.
You could say, okay, I'll take that.
He's okay.
But you needed a slot. You needed Cedric Wilson.
Right.
You didn't get him.
Right.
You needed that Sky Moore that Kansas
City guy. But, this is Jared. Skip, he said the draft was going to be unconventional. And I think it was very unconventional. That doesn't mean it's a good thing. Just because you do things unorthodox or unconventional doesn't mean it's going to turn out in your favor.
Yeah.
As good a draft as you've ever had. What? Come on, Jerry.
Jerry.
Outside, if you think about it, Skip, outside of the linebacker they took last year, Skip, look at the second and third. Look at the rest of the guys. They were just guys. Now, you gloss over that because the defensive rookie of the year was in this draft class. That's and everybody's going crazy about Micah Parsons. But if you go over there and start looking back down, look at that second round pick, how'd that work out for him? He right now, the police like, oh, bro, we need to talk to you some more. We're not done with this just yet. The
third round pick, OC.
Down. They're not planning out, Jerry.
Golston.
So, Skip, this was an awful draft. I just thought the Cowboys reached for a lot of players that probably could have been guys that they got in the second round, Skip. They could have gotten the third or the fourth. Guys they got in the fourth round could have gotten probably the fifth or the sixth.
Yep.
The Cowboys reached for a player, but I just don't. I don't see how this draft and free agency helped the Cowboys get better. Skip, if you look at what the Eagles, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to overtake them. The Eagles drafted well. You get Nakobe Dean in the third round. You get Jordan Davis. The big D tackle from the University of Georgia.
Yeah, Jordan Davis.
Yeah. You make the trade for A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
The Giants get 2 top 10 players.
Yep.
You get Thibodeau and you get Evan Neal.
Yep.
And the Cowboys, you get.
Huh?
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Nah.
Shannon Sharp, you have convinced me for once. I do pride myself, as I always tell you, in being an objective Cowboy fan, sometimes partially objective. As you know, when they lose, I go crazy.
Yes, you take it hard.
Because it's my team that let me down. How dare them do that to me? That's my reaction. I had written down on this page right here that I was going to give them a C. But after I listened to the Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp, I have to reduce my grade to below yours. I'm going D- for this draft because I can't begin to sell it back to you. I can't begin to defend it. And I know Mel Kiper pretty well, and I have nothing but ageless respect for him. He's been doing this for a long time. And when he does his grades that appear on Monday for the whole draft, he's usually pretty nice to people. Like he doesn't ever go to D's or F's, but when he gives you a C+, you stink. And his reasons for Dallas getting a C+ were very harsh by Mel standards, like extreme harshness. To say, this class just has too many unknowns. We don't know if Tyler Smith can definitely be a good guard because they're going to have to move him inside to left guard to start with and then ticket him for the outside when Tyron Smith retires.
Right.
And we don't know that Sam Williams can definitely be an every down player because by all accounts, he's nothing but a luxury pass rusher.
Right.
He's a third down specialist, right? And you took him in the second round, and Mel thinks he would have been there at least a round later.
Right.
And then he says Jalen Tolbert has good hands, but he's still raw. This, said Mel Kiper, bottom line, is a risky group.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how can I give him any kind of a grade? Because I told you I got a text on Friday during the show from a coach at Tulsa who said, don't overlook the fact that Tyler Smith is a flat-out monster on potential.
Right.
That he is wildly athletic, and he is a mauler/brawler because he brawled in the bowl game and got suspended for the opening game. Okay, this is like a Saturday Night Live routine for me because Tyler Smith led all of college football in penalties. He had 16, he had 12 holding penalties, and by all accounts, when in doubt, he just bear hugs.
Right.
It's called holding.
Yes.
And you cannot do it, and they will call it on you because now you have gone to the team with the reputation for penalties.
Yes.
They are the most penalized team in all of pro football last year.
Right.
They set the franchise record in the playoff loss to San Francisco for penalties in a playoff game. That should all fall at the doorstep of please drop the Mike McCarthy. And instead, Jerry loves him like his son. Jerry's got him more involved in the draft process. I don't know what else
I'm going to end it right there. Well, hello, good people. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, as well as Joe Bear in the house. What's up, Joe Bear? And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football god. Where's my facepalm video? Say what? All right. I see somebody in here who said the Cowboys were ready to draft Dak Prescott's replacement and Malik Willis. Let me say to that one,
I say it again, you've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. This is what he does.
Okay, this is how bullshit rumors get started. I want you to listen to this real closely because, see, this was Ian Rappaport starting some shit. Okay, just listen to this.
This was an interesting one for a lot of reasons, and this was a surprise to some people. Not Tom. I know he was thinking the Titans would draft a quarterback the whole time, but I think it's true for the rest of us. What they also did was interesting. They leapfrogged 3 teams to get to him, and of course they traded with the Raiders, making it worth their while. But you wonder, why would a team make this trade? And I kind of wonder, did the Titans think that the Cowboys would take him? They still need a backup quarterback. They'd admitted they looked at the backup quarterback market. When you get to the third round, this is basically where you would take a quarterback who is probably sort of going to at least start out to be a backup. I wondered if the Titans thought the Cowboys were going to take him. They're like, you know what? We're just going to leave.
Let me stop right there. Okay. As you guys listen to what he just said, what did he say? I just wonder if they thought that the Cowboys were going to take a quarterback. Let me back that shit up again. Hold on. This is some bullshit.
We're going to take him. They're like, you know what? We're just going to leapfrog him, make sure we get our guy. Anyway, we'll probably never know, but that's all.
I'm sorry. I didn't bring it back far enough.
I wondered if the Titans thought the Cowboys were going to take him. They're like, you know what? We're just going to leapfrog him, make sure we get our guy. Anyway, we'll probably never know.
I wonder if the Titans thought that the Cowboys were going to take him, so we're going to leapfrog him to get him. Did y'all hear that? I wonder And see, I get people, the Cowboys trying to get rid of Dak Prescott.
Be a backup. I wondered if the Titans thought the Cowboys were going to take him. They're like, you know what? We're just going to leapfrog him, make sure we get our guy. Anyway, we'll probably never know, but that's a lot of the fun things with the draft.
The Cowboys. Interesting.
Yeah. Everybody needs backups. Third round is where you draft backups. And not many guys who slide into the third round have the upside of a Malik Willis.
I get it.
Very true.
Would have been fun.
This was an interesting one for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
And, this was a...
Can I call bullshit on this? Because, see, this is how Des Bryant got sullied. His whole mantra of him was, there might be a tape out there that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice's of Des Bryant. Immediately, everybody went through and said, oh, my God, there's a tape out there of Des Bryant. See, this is in his mind. I wonder, you didn't have any proof, any evidence, nobody told you. You just went out here and said, I wonder if the Cowboys, if they thought the Cowboys weren't thinking about drafting a quarterback. Come on, man. Everything always circles around and involves the Dallas Cowboys every single time. It's crazy. It is freaking insane sometimes. In fact, it makes you sick. All right, so I see Ava Hoggood. What's up, Ava? How you doing? Miss Lola, Hot Sauce. What's up, Hot Sauce? I know Stacy Schubert's in the house. What's up, Stacy? Brian SoCal. What's up, Brian? How are you doing, man? I did not go back. If I missed some of the lovely ladies with the style and the grace already up in here, let me know, because I haven't gone back that far. What is Dallas Playboy? What's that fool starting? Is he trying to stir some stuff up? Now, I tell you what's getting to be crazy right now is I'm getting sick and tired of them damn Eagle fans. Seriously. These Eagle fans are getting off the chain right now. They are literally. But before I even got on here, let me go all. Let's see if I can go all the way up here. Filthy. Oh, I love weed. Deleted it. Filthy was up in here basically saying that the Eagles are coming for our meats and that the Dallas Cowboys suck. Philly 500 was on his channel today saying they got the division. The Cowboys will be third. Y'all counting your chickens before they hatch. Yeah, I mean, seriously, y'all need to slow your roll just a little bit, because, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because it's getting to be a little crazy out here. But you know what? You do you. You tried to jump. What? Hold up. Hold on. I got my man. Let me double check here. I got to, just give me a second here, guys. Give me a second. Hold on, my man. I've got my main guy, John Gardner, coming in. I need to send him the link. I'm just want to find out if what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas or not. All right, let's see if that gets him in here. It's crazy that no matter what happens, the Titans decide to trade up to get a quarterback, and somehow it's because of the Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles, of course, they've leapfrogged the Cowboys. We have to honestly always be in the news. All right, there we got my man DMV. DMV, you're kind of sideways there, buddy. And I think let's go to a little break here for 1 second while I do one thing. Bear with me, good people. Bear with me. Boom.
I fire Howie. Fucking fire the motherfucker. Stupid motherfucker. What an idiot. What an idiot. Justin Jefferson. He's ass.
He's stupid.
He's stupid.
I'd fire his ass.
Fire his ass. I'd fire his ass. I mean, how he's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him. You.
All right, we have joining in my main man, D. What's up, DMV? What happened in Vegas stay in Vegas? Uh-oh, your mic is muted. You got to unmute the mic, man. There we go. All right,
man. Every time, bro. Every time I come on here, the mic is muted. But yeah, I made it in one piece. I'm back home, to be honest with you. Jet lag is kicking my butt. I just woke up from a nap, but I'm here with you guys.
Well, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you chiming in between, doing those things that stay in Vegas. I'm glad that you took out some time for us and things in there, and definitely checking in the pulse. Everybody, if you don't know, check out my man DMV. I'm going to still convince him that once he gets to 5,000, he going to eat this damn chip. You going to eat this chip, okay? We got the chip challenge. I got a bunch of them here waiting with his name on it. The DC Daddy. Well, if you don't act like a jackass, you don't get banned again. How about that? My moderators know if you go ahead and come in and talk stupid crap, you're going to get out of here because you know what?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
How about that? All right. So, and I'll tell you what, DC Daddy, if you want to complain about it, we can block your ass too. How about that one? I'm fired up here tonight. What was your take on the draft, DMV? Because we got Mel Kiper Jr. saying that the Cowboys, you got the New England was the worst, and then the Cowboys were the second worst. Do you agree with that?
No. And the thing is that what these draft grades and stuff don't ever take into account are the coaches behind the picks. You know what I mean? Defensively, if you look at the Cowboys picks, they were Dan Quinn specials.
Without a doubt. Offensively,
if you look at it, they were about what Mike McCarthy used to do in Green Bay, actually. So I do think Mike McCarthy had a lot to do with this draft. Now that I look at it, So, I mean, for me, I thought I gave the draft grade a B myself, just a regular B. I didn't think it was close to a B plus, probably closer to a B minus. But the thing is that the Cowboys got tougher. I do agree with them being some unknowns there, more so with your first pick, and I think that's where it starts really. Shannon Sharp can't tell you anything about anybody else besides our first pick. Anybody else notice that when you kind of brought that up?
Yeah. No.
Last year.
He ended up, last year, he said, Kellen Joseph, the police got to talk to him and things. And after that, they had nobody. And it was like, wait a minute. See, this is the thing I said, people don't realize the other firepower that we're going to have coming in next year. OC actually played really well last year. And I think he's going to take another step up. You think of Goldston. Goldston played, defensive.
He played some pretty spot duty.
Right.
Some good spot duty when we didn't have Randy Gregory for a while.
Exactly. And he actually played really, really well. Kevin Joseph, of course, we don't know if he's going to be on the team or not. But then you got Jabril Cox. And here's the thing. I think maybe the reason that they decided that they weren't going to go ahead and sign Bobby Wagner is they had faith in having him there. Because they didn't really.
I said that.
Yeah.
And I also felt like when I looked at the draft and there were linebackers and stuff still on the board, I felt like in my mind, and I might have said it on your channel, that they feel like Jabril Cox is going to be ready to go.
Yeah. What's up, Tay Cowboys? And DMV, your drinking partner's here.
Da-da-dun. Da-da-dun.
Damn, Gina.
Welcome in, everybody. I was actually surprised. A couple things that surprised me was, one, Dak Prescott talking to so many of the prospects before the draft. They came out with the story. I mean, we heard, of course, that he talked to our wide receiver that we drafted, but apparently he actually talked to several of them. So I'm wondering if he was part of the Dallas Cowboys plans of picking out the players that actually they end up getting. I heard something through the grapevine where Dak was wanting more dogs, so to speak, on the team. And by that, I mean guys that are, a little bit, edgy, guys that are going to sell out, guys that we don't give a rat's ass. We always going to be out there. Guys that were a little tougher. And that may have been part of the reason why Amari Cooper's not here. Because here's what's interesting to me. When you look at the players that were let go, La'el Collins had the year before, came in allegedly overweight, and that was what led to the hip injuries. And then, of course, he ended up having the not taking the tests, of course, and ended up being suspended for 6 games. So that was kind of some problems that you had right there. I don't really look at that one so much as a loss because basically we got Terrence Steele to take his place, right? So when everybody says, oh, they lost, well, we already had his replacement there. So I don't think that's really a loss. Connor Williams, his issues were he was a penalty machine, and, he could easily get outmanned. You could see him basically getting rocked all the way back to the quarterback. So that was the issues with him. Randy Gregory, of course, past transgressions of being suspended, as well as a lot of penalties on top of it. And Amari Cooper, a guy who didn't get the COVID shot, missed time because of COVID, and seemed to check out. And, of course, with OTAs and training camp and stuff, he was never healthy enough to go. So all 4 of those guys that went, it seemed like there were issues that you could say that, there was question marks. You know what I mean?
Somewhat, because, but I'll also say we can't pick and choose because Tyron Smith is never ready.
Well, that's true too. But Tyron Smith is another. He's like Jerry Jones' son, like Tony Romo was. Yeah, I'm just saying. If we want to talk about picking and choosing, what about our center who's getting his ass rocked more than Connor Williams? Yeah, but our center is cheap. La'el Collins, was a whole lot more money. Well, Linderbaum was sitting there when we got Tyler Smith, who is even a bigger dog than Tyler Smith. True. But you get what I'm saying? But you had a serviceable center. If you replace him, what are you doing about the guard? Because you really don't have, then you've got Connor McGovern. And you still have a problem with the tackle, too. I just don't know if I want Dak telling me who's a dog and who's not a dog. That's my issue. Well, I have an issue with that. Well, you know what? I would. I feel like Dak has his favorites. I do. Oh, he probably does. Because are we going to sit here and say that Zeke is the same dog that he was when we're struggling there? But you can't get rid of him because of the contract that Stephen Jones signed to him. But they could have gotten another running back. They could have. Don't get me wrong. I agree with it. I just don't know if I want him or any player specifically telling me who a dog is. Or just putting their input in. So, sure, okay, I got you. I tell you what, I'd rather try that than what we've been doing with Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones for all the last 20-some years. That's true. And also, I would rather Mike McCarthy tell me who a dog is. Mike McCarthy or Will McClay would ultimately be the ones to go. The reason I say that is because Mike McCarthy has gotten somewhere that none of those guys in the building has been able to get to. True. And that's a championship in that building specifically, So no matter how people feel about Mike McCarthy, he's been there. He's kicked our ass in the playoffs a lot. In Dallas. He won a Super Bowl. Okay. All right. Well, be that as it may, I think at least they plugged the holes with people that you hope can do the job. And this, I don't think that this is a draft that is going to be game changer, but I think it's going to be building for the future too. And see, I'll tell you what, let's play a little game here. Sure. Between Tyler Smith, if he comes in and plays for Connor Williams, are we worse off? Are we parade rest? Are we in better shape? I think we're even. You think we're even? So we're no worse, right? No worse. Okay. All right. Between, don't call him Sam anymore, D. Williams. And I don't know if he's like Billy D with the Colt 45. Between Randy Gregory going and getting Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong, and D. Williams, are we better or worse? Or the same?
Same. I think we're about the same.
Okay. God, his name escapes me now. Our
Jalen Tolbert?
Yes, Jalen Tolbert. Mari Cooper.
Worse.
We're worse. Now,
We're worse.
I'm going to throw you a bonus question at you. If we go to 12 personnel, if we use more 12 personnel and don't have Amari Cooper, are we better or worse?
Worse.
Okay. All right. So two of them you're saying we're at least even with. One position we're worse.
Now, are we just talking about passing game? Or
we're just talking about just replacing it. We're replacing this player with that player.
I think we're worse.
Okay. So we have two that were at least as good as we were and one that's worse. All right. So then we get to Jake Ferguson, tight end wise. Do we think that Jake will be better or worse than Dalton Schultz? Blake Jarwin.
I think we'll be better. I think he'll be better.
So you think we'll be better suited. And will we better, do you think we'll be better suited if we're running 12 personnel?
Yeah, I do think we'll be better. I think the offense has to run 12 personnel.
Oh, I agree. I think that needs to become their bread and butter.
Yeah, I don't think we have a choice.
Especially
now, understand this.
Yeah.
When I say we're worse, we were the number one offense in the league last year, and we were putting up numbers. And Amari Cooper is a number one receiver no matter. The numbers were a little down. But having him out there and the threat of him, we can say what we want to say. How much better do we think this offense can be number one again? I don't think with what we have right now. So that's why I say worse.
Okay. All right. So in taking that, we'll be better at the tight end. We'll be worse at the receiver. As far as backup, okay, now again, if we take Tyler Smith, I don't know if they're going to try and. We know Tyron Smith's going to miss time. But let's be clear here. I don't think anybody believes that he's going to play 17 games. So we got Josh Ball, and he was injured last year, wasn't he? He's technically the backup for him. And then, of course, we have Tyler Smith, who, of course, Jerry Jones has already. Coach Jerry already said, he look a lot like Tyrone. There's so many similarities there. And if I were Tyler Smith right now, I'd be feeling kind of a funny kind of way right now. You know what I mean? Like this young mother humpers up in here. They talk about he look like me and act like me, and I think they're trying to replace me. But the question will be will we just say you're the guard and we're just going to keep you at guard, or then will we try and play musical chairs, and if Tyron goes out, take him and now put him under fire at left tackle and then bring in Connor McGovern? Or would we just go to Josh Ball? Who knows? Probably too early to tell on that one. Yeah,
and don't forget we just picked up in the draft Willetsko out of North Dakota, who they don't understand, and I know my guy Foots did some outstanding coverage on him early on. Willetsko is a really good player out of North Dakota. I had a chance to watch his tape.
Yeah.
Really pretty solid athlete for as tall as that guy is with his feet. His feet are actually better than Tyler Smith's, in my opinion.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I think Tyler's a little bit stronger. Obviously sometimes he has some technique issues. But I think if this guy didn't play at North Dakota, he would have went probably a little bit higher than he did.
Okay. So are you thinking that he could end up being the backup for Tyron Smith and leapfrogging Josh Ball?
Swing tackle. I think he's our swing tackle, and then we'll see what happens between him, Ball. That'll be an interesting battle in camp to see, where he comes in and how he plays.
Okay. All right. So now as we get back to the defense, again, knowing that we've got a bunch of pieces that are coming back that we had from last year, as well as what we did in the draft, of course, getting D. Williams outside. What's your thought of our nose tackle? Does Quentin Bohannon have to worry about a spot now?
Let me tell you. Yeah, I think so. I think he has to worry because it's a big guy. He's from Arkansas. Mm-hmm. They don't call him the Vanilla Gorilla for a reason. I mean, you don't get that nickname for a reason. I mean, without a reason.
Yeah, and see, I love that one because he's a late round pick. I know he's a 5th round pick, but
he's nasty.
That's actually high for the Dallas Cowboys to take an interior defensive lineman. I was surprised when they took last year Quentin Bohannon in this. I think 6th round it was last year. Or was it 7th?
And the thing is, I like our defensive lineman from last year.
Yeah.
I just like the depth, and I think that they're going to have to play with a chip on their shoulder. That's the big thing about it is guys can't get comfortable. Even though this defense was as good as it was last year, if you got somebody that's competing with you, Dan Quinn is going to put in the guy that he feels is going to help this defense work the best. Mm-hmm. Dan Quinn doesn't play that whole
favoritism.
You're my boy, so you're gonna play. Nah, Dan gonna put in the guys that he thinks are going to be the best for what we need. As you can see, Kelvin Joseph he couldn't even make the field. Mm-hmm. We had Anthony Brown starting most of the year, of the years.
Yeah, and that may be the case this year too.
That spoke volumes because a lot of us fans, we just knew Kelvin Joseph was going to come and be in the 2nd round pick and just be starting from day one.
And then when he couldn't play, they were like getting Ashawn Wright out there too. They were like anybody but Anthony Brown. But Anthony
Brown went out there and won that job. We can say what we want about him. Anthony Brown did not get unseated, and nobody outplayed him.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, now for defensive ends, we got Dorrance Armstrong, we got Terrell Basham, we got Dante Fowler, we got Chauncey Golston, we got D-Law, and we have Carlos Watkins, although Watkins can also play tackle too. And so I don't think you're going to be able to keep all of them.
Yeah. The best guys are going to make the roster.
Mm-hmm. And then on your defensive tackles, you've got Quentin Bohannon, Jordish Bronson, Austin Fabro, Novell Gallimore, Tristan Hill, O.C. Digazua, and of course John Ridgway. So I don't know that Tristan Hill makes it.
I don't either, and that's the beauty of it. That's what we have to look at, man. Don't look at like, we didn't get Jordan Davis. I would have loved to have had Jordan Davis, but we still this defense performed so well last year, and we created depth in spots. Yeah, there's going to be competition. There's a lot more competition on the defensive side on the ball.
Definitely. And the thing is Dan Quinn likes to rotate people too. So you'll see wave after wave of guys coming in on that defensive front to keep them, fresh and to kind of just keep them guessing. And this is going to be good. I think this is actually good getting all these guys in here because now you've got Micah Parsons as the wild card. There's going to be all kinds of things that you can do as opposed to just saying you're a defensive end and you're going to be rushing from that point all over. Now teams are going to be coming out here worrying about John Ridgway, being, like you said, the vanilla gorilla, pushing in the middle and having a harder time hopefully running. And then where's Micah Parsons coming from? Because, he can wreck a play up by himself. The funny thing is they're sitting there saying, good old Mel Kiper, that, the Cowboys didn't trade up. They didn't have any big splashes and this, that, and the other. The thing that's always funny is they always say that the Cowboys draft is bad. Last year, they were talking about the Cowboys shouldn't have drafted Micah Parsons because he's an offside linebacker. And, of course, they've got, Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch, and that seemed to be a wasted pick and stuff. But you see how he ended up being the heart and soul and the leader on this defense. And without him, there's no way that defense turned around.
And I'm not even just going to say the heart and soul of the defense. I think he's going to be the heart and soul of the team. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Definitely right about that. Well, today is phase 2 of OTAs. So today they actually get out on the field and can do individual working with coaches. No hitting, no contact. We lost actually a practice last year because we were too physical in practice. So we lost a practice from this year. What excites you the most for this team?
What excites me is that I think that this team is going to get to being a physical football team. So I do like that. I think that the coaches are going to have every opportunity to coach. So I don't now hear me out, guys. I don't believe in Joe Philbin.
No.
I don't believe in him at all.
Mm-hmm.
But he has the bodies in here, and we're going to see if he can coach or not. If he can't make this thing work with them being able to go out there and get him some bodies and getting rid of some of the problem children, you know that it's him. So I think that this year we'll have a clearer picture of who can coach and who can't. You know, I think on the defensive side of the ball, we should be fine. You know, hopefully that Jabril Cox can come back. But as a unit, they play well as a unit, and that's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they didn't draft over the unit. They kept just about everything that they drafted. He's going to fit in well with us and what we want to do as a unit. You know, not necessarily going out and getting super splashes. They got guys that Dan Quinn really liked and that fit into what he wants to do. So, offensively, I think that they kind of defer to the defense, which I actually been asking
a switch.
For.
Yeah.
I've been asking for that. Now, could there have been, you know, like I said, you know, I would have liked Linderbaum better than Tyler Smith at that pick. But, I mean, outside of the first two picks, I mean, I thought that the Cowboys got better as the draft went on.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. It seems like most people look at it and say that Smith is like the worst pick. You know, oh, you could have gotten him later on. That's one of those things that drive me crazy. They always say, well, you could have gotten him later on. If you got a great player on your roster, what else matters? Does it really matter where you got him? As long as you've got a great player?
It does not. And also, too, which I will dive into a little bit later, the Cowboys did pretty good in undrafted free agency as well.
Mm-hmm.
So they got a safety out of Florida A&M, HBCU. You know, I'm a Howard grad, but, you know, I'm always glad to see somebody in the MEAC get drafted. I think Florida A&M is still in the MEAC, but Marquise Bell, he's going to be vying for a safety job. He's going to be trying, and he's going to bust his ass to do so. And I love it.
Yeah, it's almost comical to me when they go through and they start grading everybody on their draft. And I remember the preseason poll last year, they had us as a B, and they had everybody else in our division as a B plus or higher. And, of course, basically said, you know, the Cowboys, bad draft. And I want to say that in 2016, the draft, Mel Kiper said that we had an awful draft. I think he said we had a C plus that draft. And, you know, we ended up getting, of course, Dak, Zeke. We got Micah Parsons. Jalen Smith.
Pete Prisco at CBS gave our Zeke pick a D.
Yeah.
I remember that. And I let him have it every chance I get. You know, he gave us a D for that pick. So, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, draft grades don't freaking matter until year 3.
Exactly, because you don't know who's going to be a bust. You don't know who's going to fit what system and stuff. You know, you can go through and say, oh, well, the Giants, they took care of their offensive line. They drafted Eric Flowers, and he was the human turnstile. So you just don't know what you don't know. And for us to go through and be pissed off, the Cowboys, they suck. You got to at least go with the track record. Yeah, they have some that are bad. Nobody is 100% on drafting. But if they end up getting 3 good players out of this draft, it was a successful draft.
Absolutely. And then I'll look at it this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they go back and they redrafted the Cowboys draft that you talked about with Dak and Zeke, Dak would have been a first-round pick. That wasn't just an A. That was an A++++ for a pick, you know? So.
Yeah, you are 100% right, Lewis, that I have been, Philly 500 has been texting me, sending me pictures. We got the division. I mean, if they don't win the division, I'm going to ride his ass.
Mark, They still got. Did they get better at quarterback?
Nope.
Did they get better at running the football?
Well, they were the number one running team last year. They had to because they couldn't pass the football.
I mean, did they considerably get better at running the football? Like, did they add anything up front on the offensive line?
Nope.
Did they?
Well, they added another center, but they still have Kelsick. Did
they get a running back that's not going to be hurt?
Nope. They got A.J. Brown.
Yeah. You got to get somebody to throw him the damn ball.
That's what I agree with you on that one. And they've got problems in the secondary. They thought they were going to get the Honey Badger, but he went back home to New Orleans.
Did our defense get worse, or did it get better?
I think we got better. And I think we're going to get better just from the players that we were drafting last year be taking a bigger role. We are going to be young. We're going to be fast, and we're going to be physical on that defense.
The only thing about Philly that scares me a little bit in that game is that I feel like we got worse at receiver, and we would tear their ass up with our receivers.
Yeah, true on that one. Yeah, because that's definitely their weakness.
Maybe it's a closer game. Maybe we don't blow them out by 30. Maybe we win by 10.
I'll take that. As long as we beat them, that's exactly. I'd take that. But definitely. Mark, your passion blinds you. Well, I'm not the one that's going around like Philly 500 saying, we're the best team in the division. We're going to sweep everybody. We're going to be in the playoffs. I'm not doing that one. Has anybody heard me say that we are great? My point was here with the exercise. I think our defense will be better than where we were.
On this one. I'm going Philly 500 on this one.
Okay. I think our defense will be better than it was last year. We lost Randy Gregory. I get that. Randy Gregory had some great plays, got a lot of pressure and stuff out there, but Randy Gregory also had boneheaded plays that are out there as well. Okay? Mm-hmm. And he still only had 6 sacks and 21 pressures. I think between the 3 guys right there, we can probably get that kind of production.
Probably more. Probably more.
At least, that loss is not as big a loss as everybody thinks it's going to be. And it's funny because Mel Kiper basically said with D. Williams, well, all he does is rush the quarterback. He's not good against the run. And it's like, you realize that basically the defensive ends, their job is to get outside contain and to get upfield for the quarterback. They're not necessarily, the run stopping is not necessarily their first job. Am I wrong?
Man, no talking about somebody ain't good against the run. He ain't good at his job.
There you go.
Dane Brugler is way better at his job than Mel Kiper is. Mm-hmm. Mel Kiper's just on ESPN. Dane Brugler got 28 of the 32 first-round picks. What did Mel Kiper get?
I guarantee he didn't get more than 10.
I guarantee you he didn't. So, at the end of the day, Mel Kiper is entitled to his opinion. We all got it.
Yeah, and the run-stopping issue is the interior defensive line more than your defensive ends. It's that nose tackle and those tackles that are holding the line of scrimmage and keeping the guards from getting to the second level. So that way the linebackers are the ones that make the plays. So for him to go through and say that one, it's kind of like, you don't really understand the job. Because you think about Robert Quinn. Quinn wasn't great against the run, but Robert Quinn, ended up 11 sacks with this year he was here. Ended up with 18 sacks this past year, but is not a great run stopper. But it's not what you're really asking him to do. You're asking him to get pressure on the quarterback and get that outside contain.
Yeah, and I feel like also, too, it's about the coach. Like, what is Sam Williams going to do with our coach, right? Mm-hmm. Because they said the same thing about Bruce Irvin when he was in Seattle, when they drafted him high.
Yeah.
Apparently, everybody said that was a reach. And Bruce Irving ended up being an instrumental part to that Legion of Boom defense.
Yep, that's true.
And they're pretty much, in my opinion, they're really close to being the same player.
Yeah. And we'll see, because, sometimes guys that you don't think much of become the great ones. Who thought Tony Romo would have been what he was, being an undrafted rookie free agent and stuff? Or, Drew Pearson, Hall of Famer. Some of the undrafted free agents that you're hyped about?
I talked about a Marquise Bell. There was somebody else. It's a long list of them.
It's 20 of them.
Eric Lindstrom, the center out of Boston College, who was supposed to be. I know that I had some people who had a 3rd round grade on him. He possibly.
Yeah, I was surprised that he dropped all the way out. Yeah.
From what I understand. Yeah.
And then, of course, the big question will be, the Eagles are hyped on Dean. And, he's got the pectoral injury and stuff, and they're excited about him and his possibilities. But I tell you what, if you looked at the numbers of, from LSU, the linebacker, oh, God, I'm having a brain fart, that we drafted.
Damone?
Yeah.
Damone? Was Damone?
Yeah. He's got the fuse. He had to get his back, the spine fused.
Yeah.
If he heals, have you seen the numbers on him?
I haven't seen the numbers, but I've watched the tape, and I like him. I like him a lot, actually.
His numbers were like double what Dean's were. They were like insane. If literally, if it hadn't been for the back injury, he would have been a 1st round draft pick without a doubt. He would be.
And I mean, you used one of the many fifths that we had to get him, so it's not like you really gave up anything. And we suck at drafting in the 5th round anyway,
right?
So it would just be another notch on the belt.
Yeah, Damon Clark. That's Damone Clark. Yeah, but yeah, looking at him, that's Jalen Smith all over again. If we get something, and like you said, it's only 5th round pick. If we get something out of him, great. If we don't, well, we took a chance on him. For the Eagles, though,
you got to hit. You got to hit on that 3rd round.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to hit on it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And I'm sitting here with the Eagles now. The Eagles, Jordan Davis, that was huge. I think that was a great pick for him. But then they went center in the 2nd. And then they ended up getting Dean in the 3rd, which I don't think he's going to play this year. So I'm kind of like, did the Eagles really get as much as they think that they got?
I would say yeah, because I think that much of Jordan Davis. We both thought that much of Jordan Davis, and then you add him next to Fletcher Cox. We might struggle a little bit running the football that week, even though we tried to get better there.
Yeah,
that's gonna be that's gonna be tough. That's when we're gonna need our $40 million quarterback to kind of guide the ship a little bit.
Yeah. Now, I'm interested to see now that the 4 p.m. deadline has passed on free agency, where you lose compensatory picks. Will it be the Dallas Cowboys actually trying to sign anybody of any stature or not, or are we going to do the Ty Nsekes?
Yeah, I think that they have to really get. I think they have to get a real receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to get a real receiver. Try and close that gap a little bit, because I think that there's still a big gap as to what we were last year. And we don't have to necessarily be as good as we were last year to be in the hunt. Like for me, I think right now I feel a little bit better about the team than I did. I had it set about maybe 8-9 wins. Right now I got it set about 10, maybe 11.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on some things. So, and I still think that the Cowboys are the front runners to win the East.
I see the Eagle fans are living in here. Mark, you were hyping up Jordan Davis up. You're right. Did I say Jordan Davis is going to be bad? I said I hope he ends up not being the beast that I think he is. But looking at everything else that the Eagles got, it wasn't like you were a juggernaut last year. That helps your defense, truly, in the front end. But the problem on your defense really is your secondary is the worst part of that defense. And if Jordan Davis is a 2-down guy to stop the run, well, okay. If you already had problems in passing, then people just start passing on your ass all the time. Just saying. And the question is what other personnel comes with it that really improve the team? Like I said, A.J. Brown, yeah, that's definitely the best receiver that you had, but for some reason the Eagles end up being the black hole when it comes to wide receivers, that they just don't seem to work out too well.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Just because you get A.J. Brown doesn't mean he's going to come in and work. And he's going to work there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand something that A.J. Brown had that he doesn't have in Philadelphia. Let me see if you can name it off the top of your head. Do you know what A.J. Brown had in Tennessee that he doesn't have in Philadelphia?
A running game. A really good run. Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it wasn't just Derrick Henry. That offensive line was it's probably the best offensive line in football.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to, run and then the play action game.
Yeah.
That's what they had. It ain't the same in Philadelphia.
I cried when Nakobe Dean went to the Cowboys. What country? We didn't draft Nakobe Dean. You Eagle fans, man, y'all.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It's always comical with these damn Eagle fans, man, that they just come out the woodwork here.
I'm glad that they can finally come out the woodwork because we ain't gonna talk. Are we gonna finally address us putting 50 on y'all ass? 40 and 50?
But see, here's the thing. They're in denial because they'll say, oh, well, the last game, that one didn't count.
Well, the first one we put a 40 burger on you and skunked you and you got off the sticks.
Yeah.
Swept.
But they still say the Cowboys stink.
It is what it is. We swept the division. We swept the division. When's the last time y'all swept the division? I wanted to say that, but I didn't get a chance. When's the last time Philadelphia went 6-0 in the division?
I don't know. Have they ever?
At this point, Mark, we're not even talking about winning the division. We just need to get better against everybody else. That's where we're at. Philadelphia is still trying to win divisional games.
True on that one. All right, so the question is, what's going on in the rest of the NFC? Now, I haven't paid attention to like Tampa Bay, what Tampa Bay did. I know that the 49ers are trying to hold on to Debo, but Debo don't seem to be wanting to have it. Debo wants to get the hell out of there. And they turned down some great trades with the Jets.
The Packers, I think, probably they had some sneaky picks in there. I know that they got Aaron some receivers and stuff like that. So, I mean, they'll probably be good again.
Did they draft a new attitude for Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I mean, he can win regular season games. So,
Philly, yes, I agree. The Saints got better today, getting the Honey Badger. Definitely, they've always had a great defense. So I'm never gonna putting him there, the Honey Badger back there with Demario Davis. That's gonna be a tough defense. The question will be is how's the offense gonna be, especially with Sean Payton gone. Tampa Bay, of course, still has Tom Brady, still has a lot of offensive weapons and stuff, but they are getting older. And Bruce Arians is gone, so that'll be a change unless Tom Brady's going to go ahead and coach the offense as well. 49ers, I think, definitely took a step back, and we'll see about the Rams. See if they have the Super Bowl.
The Rams are going to kick ass, man. It is what it is. They're going to kick ass. They have one of the best coaches in football. Whether they're injured or not, or they're paying money, or they don't have draft picks, or whatever the hell it is. McVay already showed you what he could do with a 2-win quarterback. Mm-hmm. And he was able to win playoff games and get to I think, NFC championship games and to Super Bowls with a 2-win quarterback in Jared Goff. So they're going to be a good team. They're going to be a good team.
They'll be a good team, but I still hope they take a step back. But we'll see. We'll see. They've got a tough division, so they're going to get beat up a little bit there. Even with the Cardinals having Hopkins suspended for 6 games, PEDs.
Yeah, now the Cardinals might be a team that takes a step back because the quarterback is in a rift with the team, and they got Dez begging to be a Cardinal and stuff like that. So,
oh my God, Ferry snipping. Okay, this is another one of these things that drive me crazy. They paid too much for Dak Prescott.
Dak is cheap right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Making the same money. Him and Derek Carr making the same money. So what are we talking about?
I mean, seriously, and as other quarterbacks, Russell Wilson's going to get a new deal here, so his numbers going to go.
Ask that person, are the Browns going to be good? Ask him that.
Ferry, whatever it was, are the Browns going to be any good? Eagles one run game in 20. Davis has to get double team. See you soon. Okay. All right. Well, okay. Cool.
Eagle fans. Quarterback that can complete passes and not get 3 and outs. All we did was get 3 and outs against. I don't think Jalen Hurts had. I don't think he even played one good quarter against us, against our defense last year.
No, he didn't. He didn't. But like I said, that's cool. That's cool. Eagle fans, I'm happy that you guys are happy, okay? I am happy that you are happy about your team. Feel good. Feel good. Okay? Because
I wouldn't be surprised if Gardner Minshew, is Gardner Minshew still a backup quarterback?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if at some point he has to come in.
I'm sitting here thinking about last year. We're going to get killed this year with Jones. Sucks that same bullshit. Oh, you must be a Giant fan. Sorry about that, but yeah, you got Daniel
the Giants
Jones.
Still have Daniel Jones, so I'm not worried about them. Washington has, they got Carson Wentz at the end of the day.
Okay, so real fan one. Let me ask you then. Okay, so Dak is too expensive. Okay, I hear what you're saying. So what's your cost saving? What's your cost saving move here? What should we have drafted instead? Should we have drafted Malik Willis and started over? Should we? How about this? Should we have taken Taylor Smith, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb and trade for Russell Wilson? Would that make us a better team?
Hell no.
Because that's what we're talking. No. We're talking about 3 number ones. So would you go ahead and say, to get another quarterback, trade Tyler Smith, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons to go ahead and get yourself another quarterback, to get Aaron Rodgers, let's say. 3 number ones.
And then you got to pay him the same money that you're paying Dak.
More at the moment. Aaron Rodgers is $50 million.
Yeah.
So
that does not make us a better football team. People just need to shut up with that.
Okay. I tell you what. Will we be better off saying, let's let Dak Prescott go, save that money, and then go get Baker Mayfield?
Man, what the hell is he doing with Dak Prescott when he was making $600K? We still didn't. The team is better now than when Dak was making $600K as a whole roster.
Right.
I mean, that's the truth.
Yeah, if money was the issue, then we should have been winning Super Bowls those first 4 years. He wasn't getting shit.
True.
Mark, be careful because your mod's making people mad, and people will start reporting your channel for using NFL Network and ESPN clips. You can use those clips. You just get demonetized. That's weird. But I appreciate that, Hammy. I appreciate that. I tell you what, here's the thing. My mods know, you can come in and talk trash and things like that. But when you start talking about a player, I hope he breaks his neck, or if you have personal attacks on people, or if you come in just to be an asshole for no good reason, I have no problem with them blocking him. I have no problem whatsoever putting people in timeout. Okay? Because, see, I'm 56 years old. I'm an older guy. Most of the people that are in here are an older crowd. Now, some of you young guys that, you don't get out much, you're in your mama's basement and things. And
your mama's basement. Sorry, I had to laugh.
Yeah, I know, but seriously, you're in your mama's basement. You don't know how to talk to ladies because we do have a lot of ladies in here. I know you Eagle channels don't get too many women in there. I get that. You're not used to talking to them. So we don't put up with a whole bunch of stupid stuff. So if you don't come in saying stupid, idiotic things and cussing people out and saying kiss my this and suck on that, then you won't get timed out. Okay? Have a take, don't suck, and don't be an ass. That's all it is, okay? Like I said, I'm too old. I'm the old guy on my porch, telling you to get the hell off my grass and stop being a jackass. Jeez. All these damn Eagle fans coming in here trying to start, your people are moderated. Well, then don't be here then. Nobody said you had to be here, because I
don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Seriously.
You want to know why they're here? Because
what?
They're Eagles. Because their Eagles YouTubers aren't as interesting. It's just that simple.
Yeah, and they have no manners.
I mean, outside of Philly 500, I mean, and quite frankly, you guys work good hand in hand. But outside of that, man, come on, let's be real. Like with us, we have so many people that you can go to and look at. Like, I mean, I don't go to any Eagles channels. Only time I go to Philly channel is when we're trolling them collectively as a unit. That's about it. Other than that,
you're right about that.
I couldn't tell you who the hell a Philly YouTuber is over there.
I know there's Joey Shakes, and then there's what's his name? He actually doesn't live too far from us. Lord Brunson. Brunson's actually in VA.
Not to say, I'm not going to say that they're not good. I'm not going to say that at all. It's just that, like me personally, I just don't care enough to go to see what the hell is Philadelphia talking about right now. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you heard what Ian Rappaport did, right? I've got people coming in. The Cowboys were going to draft Dak Prescott's replacement because Ian Rappaport was sitting here saying the Tennessee Titans jumped over 3 teams. I wonder if their thought was the Cowboys were going to draft a quarterback, so let's jump past them.
That's just being,
what?
That's just being lazy and being able to put Cowboys' name in a story. And you know, my guy needs his clickbaits too. Shout out to Ian Rappaport, man. If you just want the Cowboys, if you just want the Cowboy fan base to, you know, click on your stuff, man.
Man,
you don't got to make stuff up, man.
The funniest
report on the Cowboys.
The funniest thing about that was everybody was like, "What?" It's like you really—that's what you came out with. Man. It's like, come on, man. You know, it's
cocaine's a hell of a drug,
right?
I mean, he could have found any other team like besides the Cowboys that really are looking for a quarterback or needed a quarterback.
Right. I mean, you got like all the holes we have. Oh, let's draft a quarterback. What? Okay. Yeah, that was just.
I mean, I guess it just sounded a lot more interesting than saying, you know, they were jumping over. I don't know. I can't think of a team that needs a quarterback. Maybe Houston. Sounds a lot.
Seattle.
Saying they were jumping over Houston. You know what I'm saying? Or Seattle.
Seattle. Carolina. I mean, Carolina definitely, although Carolina is talking maybe, you know, Carolina and Seattle are kind of talking about, you know, I guess we could take Baker Mayfield maybe, you know. And that's how bad it is for Baker Mayfield. You know, we've screwed some things up. Cleveland has screwed the pooch on that one, Baker Mayfield all the way around.
Uh-huh.
They're kind of stuck with him at the moment with that $18 million cap hit. But it is what it is. At least it's not our problem. So, do we forgive Stephen Jones?
Hell no. He still sucks. The draft. Hey, look, the draft it was a solid draft, but it wasn't a great one. So, do I forgive Stephen Jones? Hell no. And even if we're a good team, we could have been a better team if we just play in free agency. Hell no, I don't forgive Stephen Jones.
It's so funny because the Eagle fans have basically based their whole season on Jordan Davis. You see how every one of them comes in here, we got Jordan Davis.
But time out, Mark.
Yeah.
They have Fletcher Cox, who is arguably the best interior, one of the best. He's not the best interior defensive line. That's Aaron Donald. But Fletcher Cox is definitely like number 2. They've already had that. So it's nothing different.
Hang on for once. Hammy, hold on, Hammy. I'm sorry. Are you new here, Hammy? You're getting, wait a minute. Hold on. You're getting bullied and you can't defend yourself because I get timed out? Oh, well, see, Hammy, I feel really, really bad for you that my moderators are timing you out and you just can't defend yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you could always just go to whatever.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
So I tell you what, I timed you out this time. Don't blame it on my mods. It was me, okay? All right? Damn. Don't come in here like a whiny little bitch. Oh, I keep getting timed down. I can't defend myself. Well, if you're not wanted, why are you here? Do you understand these fools?
I don't.
Lord.
I don't.
So what was it like in Vegas?
It was great, man. I would say that the best part about Vegas was getting together amongst Cowboy fans that I've met on Twitter, that I've met on Facebook, that I built a relationship with. Like kind of how you built a relationship with the people that, you know, a lot of your moderators or people that you're emailing back and forth with. So had an opportunity to meet with those guys. And, you know, I met with a writer, Shane, for A to Z Sports. We ended up clicking really well. That's my guy.
That's cool.
Out my Twitter. I took a picture with him. Got to hang with Jay Tuck a lot. We went to the club. I mean, that was fun. Went to go see Rick Ross. We went to the Gronk party together. Yeah, I mean, it was just fun rubbing elbows with Cowboys family. That's what I call it, family.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we're going to get back on, or I'm going to try and get back on track this year because I want to go to at least one, probably 2 games in Dallas, and I think we're going to need to gas up the RV and make a nice road trip because I know Thomas Garrett, he's in Nashville, so we got to stop off in Nashville and grab him on the way. And I'm sure there'll be a few others that'll say, hey, can I hitch a ride on the Jobu bus to Dallas?
That'll be a little tough for me because, you know.
Oh, that's right. I know you.
Yeah.
You are Flint Hill Prep offensive coordinator, right?
Well, defensive coordinator.
Oh, defensive coordinator. Okay. All right. So, yeah, definitely.
I swapped sides, man. Swap side.
Well, DMV, tell everybody where to find you. We're going to cut out of here. This is 5 days in a row with live streams, man. Brandon Peck, did I read your chat? I just did. I just read that one. Okay, I didn't see the other one. Sorry. Got a lot going on here. But DMV, everybody, check out my man DMV. And please, not you trolls that have no manners. You can keep your mother humping ass home. Okay, just stay home. The rest of you, definitely sub up to DMV.
Yes, sir. DMV Fanatic on YouTube and on Twitter, DMV Fanatic 1. And yeah, you guys come check it out. I did some videos on the prospects already. I talked about our draft class yesterday already. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot more content coming out, man. I hope that you guys get a chance to go back over my stuff from when I was in Vegas. And for those that did watch, I appreciate you.
I want to say something too. Okay, you know, all these new people that are here, okay, don't be a cockroach, okay? If you're going to come in here right now and talk smack, you know, because you feel good about your team and you get Jordan Davis and everything else, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. The reason why I like Philly 500 and him and I get along is because he's a grown-ass man. When he says something stupid, he'll own up to it. You know, he'll shave his head. He'll wear, you know, Mark Holmes is my daddy. But you ones that come in here and talk smack when your team is doing well, but then you disappear and don't show up again until your team's doing well again, you're a cockroach. And I've got no respect for cockroaches. So if you want to come in, good times and bad, and be a real fan, you're cool with me. And there are some Eagle fans in here that are really cool with me. Philly, you know, Philadelphia, he's an idiot and all that. You know, he's kind of punch drunk.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Hey, look, rain or shine, Philadelphia is around.
Yeah, but you ones that come in, oh, I can't defend myself because we get it. Man, shut up. Nobody want to hear you whine. Nobody want to hear you whine. Come on, be cool. But, yeah, I think it was a good draft. You know, we'll see how it all pans out. I'm hopeful for the team, and I'm glad that we are actually healthy doing OTAs right now. We've got till the 20th for phase 2, and then come the 21st, we end up starting with actually the true mini camp for 3 days, and then the other ones in June, and so on, and then training camp. So we're not that far away, are we?
No, we're not. You know, May is here.
May is here. I guess it's safe to start the clock again. I guess I can count down to the season. And then Wednesday, we find out the international schedule, don't we? I think they're going to announce. And then the following, on the 12th, we're going to have the schedule release, the full schedule release.
Man, that's crazy. Look, that just truly lets you know that football is king. When you could just make a spectacle of things like the NFL draft, like they did in Vegas, where just thousands of fans, maybe millions, came and poured into a city just for a draft.
Really is.
You know, you have to have like a special release for schedules and all that stuff. Like no other league does it the way that the NFL does.
No, they don't. You're right about that. All right, DMV, I'm going to get up out of here, and I'm going to catch you on the flip side. Everybody, it's time to get your shot glasses ready, because here we go. fantasy draft. All right, good people. It's time to turn out those lights because this party's over. I will see you guys, God willing, in the morning.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same